Hello, my name is Peter Oquist, and like Jason, I'm a student at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I'm a senior undergraduate psychology major. And I cringed earlier when my fellow student, not referring to Jason, from UNL stood before you and declared that the Association of Students at the University of Nebraska have declared their support for this ordinance. I'm among many students at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln who do not support this ordinance and are thus not accurately represented by ASUN's recent decision. While I speak only for myself at this hearing, my views are shared by many other UNL students. I do not want this ordinance to be passed here in Lincoln, as I've stated before, and as stated long before me during the marathon that Jason referred to, there are many unintended consequences that could come from legislation such as the proposed ordinances, of which I have two examples. A graduate student named Julia Ward was studying for a master's degree in counseling from Eastern Michigan University, and she was expelled from that program following her decision to refer a client seeking counsel about a same-sex relationship. Further along the same thread, Sandra Bruff is a woman who was formerly employed by the North Mississippi Medical Center, Incorporated, as a counselor in their employee assistance program. And she had been meeting with a client for some time before the client disclosed to her her desire to change the therapeutic goal to improving her relationship with her partner. She was a lesbian coming out to her counselor. Sandra Bruff, at that point in time, chose to refer her client to a fellow practitioner. And as a result of this referral, Sandra Bruff was relieved of her, and I'm quoting, relieved of her counseling responsibilities and placed on leave without pay. Ordinances such as the proposed ordinance make referring clients, which is a very common practice among psychologists, suddenly dangerous to do. And in light of these consequences, unintended as they are, I would choose not to open a counseling clinic should I become a counselor and proceed in that profession here in Lincoln if the ordinance passes, because, like the two women that I spoke about, I would refer such clients to another counselor due to my moral convictions, and I could be sued for such a simple thing as referring a client to another counselor. Council members, I strongly urge you to either vote against this ordinance, or at the very least, put it to a vote of the people. Thank you for your time, and do you have any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hallie Salem, Wendy Friend.
Hi, my name is Brandon Weiss. I am a graduate student at UNL finishing a PhD in clinical psychology. And I wasn't planning on testifying here today, but after sitting here for several hours hearing people say grossly inaccurate things and misrepresenting data from research studies, I felt the need to just say that I'm sure you have your opinions on this topic. If anyone has quoted anything, statistics, anecdotes, things about research studies, I would very much urge you to actually look at what those research studies say, to look at what the facts are. On both sides, there's going to be a lot of very impassioned speech. Those are not facts. If I had more than 5 minutes, I would be happy to go through an itemized list. It is disappointing that even some mental health professionals that have spoke have given very inaccurate testimony about the relationship between sexual orientation and various other mental disorders. I'm not really sure where people are getting this information about how if someone is gay, they're going to be some sort of pedophile or sexual offender or things like that. Basically, with whichever way you stand on this issue, no matter what either side is saying, I would really just urge you to actually look up this information, see what the studies actually say, and then make your own conclusion rather than what people are saying here. Thank you.
Yes. Has a question?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for saying that, because I kind of feel some of the same things sometimes. I feel like on both sides, but particularly my wife's a mental health therapist, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff I'm finding out for the first time about psychology and mental health. So I'll give you the chance if you want to talk about any of those statistics particularly, and the disorders that have been mentioned and those kinds of things, if you'd like to talk about that. If you don't, that's fine. But I would also tell you to please send me an email. Maybe you could kind of clarify some of those things for me. And if there's a few things you'd like to point out, that'd be great, because I feel like some of this stuff I'm hearing for the first time. So anyway, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, I will say I will keep it somewhat limited, but will be happy to send you an email only because I would actually like to have data in front of me to actually say, rather than just going based on my memory. And of course, I have opinions, so I'm biased.
Thank you.
However, one individual was saying about how there's a huge number of different sexual orientations that the American Psychiatric Association lists as official sexual orientations. That's not true. These correlations between sexual orientation and autism and all these different disorders and basically the incidence of violent behavior among individuals who are sexual minorities, the definitions that individuals have given for gender identity or sexual orientation, I just feel have been misrepresented. But I would be more than happy to email you with some very specific things and some articles to look at.
Thank you.
Diane, did you have a question?
I was basically going to ask for the same thing, and if you send it to Adam, maybe he'll share it with the rest of us.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alex Forsyth. I'm a very recent graduate of UNL. I just graduated this weekend, and I'll be applying to go to medical school, hopefully at UNMC if I get accepted there. Like Brandon, I wasn't really planning on speaking tonight. I didn't even know if I was going to come here. I just came here to support my friends, and as you can tell, I'm probably very well dressed to speak in front of the council and be on TV and stuff. But I kind of just want to keep it brief because I feel like there's so many things that have been said. I don't know if I could say much that hasn't already been said. I guess what I'd really like to say is just that there's a lot of scare tactics that are used in these kind of debates. There's a lot of testimonies and stuff that paint these pictures of, these terrible situations, and sometimes bad things happen. I wouldn't blame it on an ordinance like this, but I'd just like to say that, when it comes down to it, I just want to work. Like, I just want a job here in Lincoln. I really want to be a doctor, and I know there's a great need for that, especially in, rural communities in Nebraska. There's a huge need for doctors out there, but I don't know if I'd feel safe going out there to work. And I just want to work. I just want to be able to get a house. I'm very thankful that you brought up that point when that gentleman was talking about realtors and how you shouldn't have to sell them houses if they're a gay couple. Like, we just want a house. We just want somewhere to be able to go to sleep at night, to live and call our place. We're not trying to force our views on anyone. We just want what everyone else wants. I just want to know that I can be protected for that stuff. And it's not that I'm trying to force my views on anyone. Anyone's allowed to think that I'm an abomination or that I'm a heathen. They can believe anything they want about me. They can say anything they want about me. I don't care. They have that absolute right, and I'll fight to the death for them to have that. But I just want to be able to live my life. And I feel like this ordinance would do it, and I'd be really thankful if you could pass it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is that all? Okay, that's the end of the list. Anyone else wishing to speak this tonight? No. You've already spoke. Everybody gets one shot at it, and that's all they get. Anyone else that hasn't spoke tonight? Okay, Jim, we'll finish that public hearing.
Well, that concludes the public hearing. Have none, so that is it. We can go into the voting session.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, under the consent agenda, items 1 through 4 were introduced by Hornan.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Eskridge,
Yes. Yes.
Shimmick,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Also under the consent agenda, items 5 through 7 introduced by Shimmick.
So moved.
Second. Second by Adam. Call the roll. Yes.
Hornan,
Yes.
Shimmick, Camp,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Okay, So we had public hearing on item 11. Ordinances, third reading, none. The ordinances having first reading are items 12 through 16. The resolutions having first reading are items 17 through 24. The pending list date certain is item 25. The pending list contains items 26 through 34. This is not an open microphone session.
I would move for